Hello! You find me in a slightly different location than normal in that Will and I have been able to sneak in a quick little midweek mini break to Melbourne, utilising the lovely points that we were able to gather whilst we were staying in all those hotels in London and Paris. And the reason that we have come is to visit the Cartier exhibition at the National Gallery of Victoria. That's their main winter exhibition, because if you didn't know, I am a huge fan of beautiful shiny objects. I like the workmanship, I like the diamonds, I like the gems, I like the jewels, I like it all. So we're looking forward to that. And then along a similar sort of sparkly twinkly theme, we are off later on today to go to the Lightscape exhibition in the Botanical Gardens, which is where they illuminate the trees and the plants with a beautiful light display, with quite probably a glass of mulled wine or two along the way. Why not? It is winter after all. So we're very much looking forward to both of those things. We sort of regard it as a bit of a Melbourne season. We're trying to potentially instigate a tradition. So the main winter exhibition at the gallery, the Lightscape exhibition, the flower show, sort of like a London season, but one we've personally curated for ourselves here in Melbourne. So I'll bring you along and show you bits and pieces of what we're up to today, and then I'll probably catch up with you maybe even back at home, where I will be able to, fingers crossed, update you on the roof situation. So have a look around at the exhibition and the light show, and I'll catch up with you later. I would definitely wear that.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink, cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty.
As promised, we'll round things out with a quick update on how we got on with the roof. You may be able to spot the new panel, so just to reiterate, there was a bit of a leak into the house around about the chimney. Rain would drip down into the house and onto the range whenever it rained, which was a bit annoying. And we realised the problem was that the flue, the chimney, comes out of the roof through a join, and that is suboptimal. It should just come out through ideally a sort of solid piece, but for logistical reasons that wasn't possible. So we began by silicone sealing the join and around the chimney, and then I put a layer of this lead flashing tape around the chimney and down the seam. And then we, on top of that, put on this new sheet of metal. In order to do that, we had to cut a slit up it and cut a hole out of it and sort of slide it up under this bar, which is the rail for our solar panel. Slide it under that and then slide it back down and around the chimney. But it did mean that in order to get it under the apex, we had to cut the metal, peel it up, slip it under, re-screw the apex down, and then I've just silicone sealed it and lead flashed that for good measure, and then I've just done another layer of lead flashing around the back of the chimney for good measure. If this proves not that watertight now that it's been sort of compromised, we have got another section of apex that we have managed to source, and we can just attach that on top of that if needs be. But we're hoping this has solved the problem, and the only way we'll find that out is if it rains, and there's not a lot of rain on the card, so I'll maybe have to wait a while before I can update you as to if this has actually worked. But if you can bear with me, I will as soon as I know. If this hasn't worked, I'm not too sure what we'll do, because I think we've done pretty much everything that is reasonable. So anyway, fingers crossed it does work. The last thing I'm thinking of doing is we can only shoot the chimney from above because of the shape of the range, and it is very, very difficult. So I'm thinking of putting some rubber matting down around this in order to mean that at least getting up there one has a bit more grip on the metal, and especially when you're stood behind it trying to sweep down, you can have a bit more grip rather than sliding into the chimney itself. So we'll see how we go with that. But I'm heading down now for a spot of lunch, and I'll catch up with you probably next week.